Welcome back.
Welcome back
to the MLG Game On Blu-rays Enders. Oh my god, I still mess it up. Enders Game On Blu-ray Disc Tournament.
Yep.
There we go.
There we go. My name is Katz, and now back with us is
Stephen Bunnell.
Yep.
Thank you for Ignatius for covering for me. I had to take a brief leave of absence.
Well, Ignatius didn't cover for you the first few games, actually. It was just me, and then Rob from production also jumped in.
Did you do it? How was that? Was that fun?
It was actually pretty okay, I think. Yeah.
Did you tell any funny stories that we have to recap on, or?
Not that I can recall, but I think I said some funny stuff. Especially, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember. I
think I can probably imagine. Like, if I just sit on it for a moment, I could probably.
Yeah. Okay.
I think so.
Okay. What did I say?
Yeah. It would take me a little bit to. I think the Stevie Van or whatever, like those kinds of jokes. Probably.
That was good. That was good. No, I didn't shit on you that much.
Oh, thanks. Okay, that's good.
I only made that Reddit thread.
Yeah. I'm sorry, guys. I was gone for a little bit. There was some really important stuff going on in Eve, and I just couldn't. Guys, if you really think I fucking left to play Eve, like, I don't know what to say, man. Like, do I argue with all of those people? Listen, man, I stepped into that Reddit thread, and all of a sudden I felt like making a Total Biscuit thing with all those mean people, making my feelings hurt.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. When I come back, a wounded warrior, ready to cast.
Good.
With infinite bravery. This is pretty bad for everybody. For us, Scarlett could get eliminated here. I don't
Would
think she
it be
will.
bad if she got eliminated by Hitman? I think they have enough story behind them that this is a very interesting match.
Maybe, yeah. Hitman's kind of claim to fame, or the only reason people know about him, is probably because of him beating Scarlett previously in a tournament.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, before that he was a strong ladder player, and players would know about him. But
yeah, but nobody
not many
really.
People outside of the North American community of players.
Yeah. So the question is Scarlett going to adapt and be able to beat him? I think she is. I think she watched Kane as well. I think she watched Hendralisk yesterday. Is Hendralisk in part of their that group? Yep. The Kane, Suppy, yeah. So Kane and Hendralisk pretty handily beat Hitman.
Kane, it was close in the second game. The first game was a macro game, so that should tell the story.
Okay.
And the second game was an 8-gate all-in, which Kane scouted right away. He stayed on 2 base, no tech, and it was still pretty close. Hitman's just really good at it.
Gotcha. So Scarlett, unfortunately, because of the kind of weird circumstances for how Hitman got here, I guess Scarlett wouldn't have had a lot of time to play practice games.
Oh, wow. Scarlett going for a 3-hatch before pool.
Interesting.
If Hitman scouts this, he will 4-gate, and he will win this first map.
What a build. 4-gate would be really good.
Well, I don't mean like 4-gate pressure.
No, you mean 4-gate, one bate.
I mean
like 2011 4-gate.
2011 4-gate.
Like minigun on Zelnaga Caverns 4-gate.
Yeah. Unfortunately for Hitman, he has not scouted it yet. So, but he is still in 1 gas. So the unfortunate part, I guess, is he's gonna drop a Nexus.
Unfortunate for who?
Well, for Hitman. I'm pretty sure if he had scouted, he would straight up 4-gate.
Are you not rooting for Scarlett?
Unfortunately for Hitman.
I would say fortunately Hitman didn't scout it, so Scarlett will get away.
Okay, fair enough. I mean, Scarlett, Hitman's definitely the underdog, so.
I've never seen Scarlett take that third on this map before. It's kind of weird that of all the players to do it against, she would do it against Hitman. You think it's a little weird, or?
Perhaps she's playing pretty greedy. Yeah. I think the concept
and the
here.
3-hatch before pool.
Yeah, exactly. But that's because it's again Hitman. Like sure. I personally, I tend to do a lot of greedy builds, and if I can establish that economy, then the all-ins that Hitman does are all of a sudden not that scary anymore.
Yeah, definitely.
So I think that's the concept behind it. Like I've heard Scarlett talk about Hitman before and how good his all-ins are because he cuts a lot of corners, right? He puts a lot, like for example, right now he's on 1 gas. He didn't even scout until very late. That makes his timings a lot crispier. He plays blind a lot of the time,
and he actually didn't even
takes
scout
risks.
Scarlett at all.
he hasn't scouted yet, and his probe has been mining for so long, so his timings are stronger than other Zergs. And as a response, Scarlett is like this is playing against Hitman.
Definitely.
That's her playing against Hitman. The early
knowing
third.
there'd be no early pressure, he wouldn't scout it. He doesn't do any Mothership Core, Zealot, Stalker shenanigans,
Yeah,
anything like that.
it's-
Stuff that other Protoss might do, or at
yeah.
least threaten enough that she wouldn't take that.
Yeah,
3
she's
hex
getting
before
set
four.
up for the Olin. She knows that there's only one gas and drops a Roach Warren at around 5 minutes and 30 seconds. This is an
I think
incredibly
that-
fast warp gate.
Yeah,
for
something I
Hitman.
was going to mention earlier. One thing that Scarlett had trouble with is Protosses that drop those chronos, like 1 or 2 extra chronos on the warp gate tech, is something that Scarlett had trouble with against Naniwa.
Yeah.
I remember that Naniwa would completely throw off against that shot because he would drop that extra chrono.
Yeah.
You know, on the warp gate, which does make it come in a little bit faster. And you can see the Roach Warren's almost done, but already 8 Zealots on
Yeah,
the
that
field.
added with the fact that Hitman never scouted. Everything's a little bit quicker. He has a little bit more bank to work
A
on.
lot of links stacked for free. Roaches are a good counter, but unfortunately, if there's like 12 Zealots sitting in your natural and you pop out 4 or 5 Roaches with a time warp going down too, it
Yeah,
can
and
still
there's
get a little bit
four more
dicey.
Zealots here. I don't know about that time warp though.
Yeah, that
He
wasn't
should have saved the time warp
for the
for
Roaches.
yeah.
Definitely, he could have killed all these queens and the Roaches at the
Oh,
ramp.
but
Although
the
he still might
Zealots
get
are
a
gonna
good
flank.
surround.
If he gets us around here, 2 of the queens will fall down.
Definitely,
for sure.
but there are a lot of Roaches here, so I do think.
Yeah, the Mothership Core is gonna have to back here.
Yep. So Scarlett will be able to hold off the Zealot pressure, which is good for Scarlett, and I do think she ultimately comes out ahead here.
Absolutely, especially
Because
mining
she has
the gold.
the gold, yep, and the gold economy was never disturbed. She lost a couple queens, which kind of sucks, but again, the gold economy completely undisturbed.
Yeah, and again, I think this is the kiting that the Roaches can do, and it's much harder if there's a time warp.
Definitely.
So that's
dropping
why
that time warp
that
early
time warp
is,
was a huge mistake by Hitman,
Yeah.
I feel.
and
He
again,
didn't even kill the queen. He delayed mining from
Yeah.
3 drones. Is that what that did?
he was like trying to slow down the drones to get him to the Zealots. We mentioned this a while ago, but it's really weird because players that play like this typically make the best decisions when it comes to like those timings. Like he's been in that situation so many times. I can't imagine why he thought dropping the
Well,
time
it is a
warp there was
tournament too.
good.
It is a tournament against Scarlett.
Yeah.
There has to be a lot of pressure on him right now.
Yeah, probably. I guess so. But I mean, that was unfortunate. Those things are game changers, man. Like, could you imagine? You know, like the early Zealot stuff. Like, I guess like a lot of stuff maybe in StarCraft 2 is very momentum based.
Yes.
If you've got like 12 Zealots in your base and you've got like some Roaches, that's fine. But if you lose all your Roaches and then you've got 16 Zealots in your base and you weren't building up those Roaches, like you can't really kite 16 Zealots with 4 Roaches. Like you can, but it's
Right.
gonna take a long time to kill them. The other Zealot's gonna kill your stuff.
Yeah.
So losing those initial Zealots, not being able to kill everything in that little flank with the time warp, I feel like it cost Hitman a lot here and put Scarlett in a really, really good spot. 47 harvesters to 43. She has been mining that gold the entire game, and she even traded almost cost effectively against those Zealots. You know, losing
She
only-
also managed to get a lair like during all this. So we saw Kane in a similar position without a lair, and he still managed to win. Scarlett,
She had even made the
yeah.
spine crawler at the gold and didn't even need it to defend. Like that's
Yeah.
wasted resource that she didn't even need. You know. So
And now Scarlett with the Hydra, then she's gonna be extremely comfortable stopping an immortal. Well, Hitman is hitting pretty much at the perfect time for him, but I think it's
Yeah.
still not gonna be enough.
as perfect as he can, but I
Right,
mean,
yeah, as good as
yeah.
it gets. But I think Scarlett is gonna be prepared for it regardless.
lots of sentries, only 1 immortal though. She's probably got about Heyman's probably got about 2 or 3 sets of force fields to burn through, and then after that, he's 1 immortal, and his sentries are pretty much undefended. Pretty rough time for Hitman here. Hitman is the kind of player that if he were to have a macro game, he would be such a deadly player. But unfortunately, it's so easy to metagame a player like this, you know, as
Yeah.
we've seen time and time,
Like
again, at least in this
if
tournament.
if Minigun and Hitman had a
Oh.
baby, that would be
Exactly, yeah. This that time warp,
that would be the most disgusting creature.
definitely. Because Minigun is probably the best NA PvZ macro.
I honestly haven't seen, even at the highest grade level, anyone play as
PvZ
well as,
macro
yeah,
as well as Minigun,
yeah.
yeah. So to have
like
that
in
as
terms
a
of
threat,
unit composition and just like his control is great. His unit composition is fantastic. His game knowledge, because that's all he's played. It's kind of like a Villo, except he takes bases fast.
Yeah.
It's like his game knowledge in the late game is just he's always played.
If you could combine a great all-inner with Minigun, but then give Minigun a Villo's undeserved confidence.
Yeah, Minion has always lacked a little bit of confidence. Lately, he's been a little more
Oh,
confident,
man.
and this
a good
crushing.
round. Okay.
There's no
I mean,
way Jose. There's no way Jose.
Yeah, the force fields were about as good as
You can
hoped for,
expect,
but
yeah,
I mean,
it was good. It's just way too much for Scarlett here.
for Hitman.
Well, it's too much. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. It depends on how you phrase it, I guess.
Well, what's too much for Scarlett?
She has way too much. Scarlett has way too much.
Oh.
It's too much for Scarlett in favor of Scarlett or against Hitman. It's too much for Hitman to handle.
Okay.
No?
I don't think so. I think you would say like it's plenty for Scarlett. When you say too much, I think you're inferring that they can't handle it, like too much.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah.
But Scarlett could handle it there.
Yeah.
She handled it all over Hitman. He got racked.
Racked.
Unfortunately, yeah, Hitman's gonna have a really tough time. Game 2, very easy in metagame his style, and he has no other options besides all-inning. Again, Katz was talking to me a little bit yesterday saying I might have been a little bit harsh, but I mean, it's really, really hard for Hitman to do anything besides all-inning, which makes him pretty predictable. We're gonna cut to a nice way to say it. We're gonna have to quit 90-second break, and we're gonna hop into game 2 of Hitman versus Scarlett.